that are getting on, please say your name and let us know where you're calling in from.
Tim Neal from Puerto Rico.
Welcome, Tim.
Dan Green from Chicago, Illinois.
Well, Dan from Chicago.
Leroy from St. Louis.
Welcome, Mr. Leroy.
Thank you.
Who else we got going on here? Let's go. Let's go,
John
Bill.
Bakiji from Texas.
Welcome. Welcome, 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 Texas. Texas is in the house this morning.
Sekou Brown from Florida.
Welcome, Mr. Sekou.
Philip from Jacksonville, Florida.
Welcome, Philip from Jacksonville. We are from all over the country. Let's get this thing started this morning.
Laura from South Carolina.
Welcome, Miss South Carolina. Welcome back to the country.
Thank you so much.
Georgia.
Welcome, welcome from Georgia.
Candy, Houston, Texas.
Welcome, Candy. Who else do we have here?
Rita May, New Mexico.
Welcome, New Mexico. Welcome, welcome. So, guys, we are getting ready to get this party started. So if we could make sure that everybody is muted and you have your pencil and paper out. If you still want to let us know where you're calling in from, just put it in the chat and we would love to hear from you. So right now I am going to introduce our speaker of today. He is a family man, a military vet, and it has been a successful entrepreneur for over the last 25 years.
Recording in progress.
In 3 different industries globally, and he's come out of retirement for his 4th. The part that I love about this man is the fact that not only is he's a mentor, he's a coach, but he literally gets down in the trenches with his people and everyone that's in the industry. So I love this about him. The part that I truly love about him, because of his goals that he set, and the reason he's come out of retirement is because he's on the verge of helping 10,000 families generate over $5,000 a month in residual income within the next 5 years. But guess what? I'm one of those people that he's helping reach that threshold. So this is phenomenal. This is awesome. So the thought about this is, he is, truly a servant leader. And being a servant leader, he brings people along with him. So let me introduce to you the man that's helping my family build legacy wealth, the VP of Sales and partner in BYLD, Mr. Samuel.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. I appreciate you. Thank you very much, Sabrina, for that warm and electric introduction. Again, always making it look good. And ladies and gentlemen, today, very, very exciting day because we get a chance to share with you who we are and what we're doing and what our mission is. Okay. And so when you look at the BYLD network, guys, building your mindset, building your business and building your network, that's our agenda. Right. And what we're going to do now, especially in today's economy, we're going to put people in a position where their family, if they choose to, will never have to worry about money again as long as they live. And so hopefully you guys can, again, just hang along this, take some good copious notes. And upon completion of this actual conversation, we'll have you get back with the person that invited you. But we want to make sure we make the best of your time. And we're going to jump right into this thing here. So when you look at BYLD, let's see here. BYLD is a high ticket brokerage, guys, with 4 high ticket verticals. And right now, and I say 4, we have more and more verticals being added on a regular basis. And so when you look at, us versus what a traditional network marketing company would be, guys, a lot of people in network marketing will fail because, again, they're set up, in a position where only the people with influence, only the people with, networks, people with skill sets will go out there and thrive. This is a company, right, guys, that the ownership, when they put this together, they put it together knowing that a person can come in here with no skill set whatsoever, right? Not having a lot of time and build a 6-figure income on a very part-time basis with recruiting. Okay, so they also had the entrepreneur in mind, where a person can come in here and put themselves in a position where they can build a brokerage that spans all over the United States of America okay, and builds a sales force again that can go out there and make their own way as well and create legacy income for people. And so, when you look at this company, guys, want to make sure you're looking at it with those things in mind. So, no matter why you're watching, just know this: we're here for. So, each huge income that you're going to see, guys, you have the ability to make a 6 or 7 figure income in a standalone setting. Okay, so why build a business? Guys, and this is because nobody's coming to save you. Right now, you look at our personal economy over the last 90 days. You have 6,000 people working for the government have lost their jobs. You have over 48,000 people who are non-farmer employed people who have lost their jobs, guys. And you have people who have lost, a lot, if not all of their retirements and investments based on decisions that were made, not of their own. And so when you're an entrepreneur, guys, you control everything for the most part that happens within your business. You are not at the mercy of the government. You are not at the mercy, okay, of a boss or an employer. So you're not at the mercy of the government. You're not at the mercy of a company, right? An employer. You are now empowered to make the decisions that you need, okay, to take care of you and your family. Okay? You control the economy under your roof. Okay? When you look at times like this, you look at companies that they're coming out of the woodwork saying, we have something for you. We have something to stop the bleeding. We have something to keep you, from losing your home, losing your cars, losing your positions, and losing your mind. Okay, you have companies out there like Uber, Etsy, Airbnb, Shopify, Amazon, right? DoorDash, all these companies that are out there, they're allowing you to make money based off of their genius. Okay? And the thing that you'll learn that all of these companies have in common is that the masses will never get rich in these companies, right? They make the bulk of the money because it's their idea. They're the founder of the feast, right? And they take millions of people globally, most of these companies, and they take a really nice piece, of funding from the earnings of the people who are out there doing the actual work. And so these are gigs. Again, there's a place for them in our economy, but just know that don't try to make this the end all be all. Okay. Now, when you look at BYLD, our company is a super gig. If you want to look at it that way, again, this is a company where you can still maintain what you're doing for a living. In certain situations, guys, most of you can still do what you do for a living without a major disruption in your life. As a matter of fact, the better you do with us, the more of your life you actually buy back. Okay. The better you do with us, the faster you can work your way out of a car driving for Uber or DoorDash. The faster you can now put yourself in a position where instead of doing things for Amazon, you now become Amazon. And that's the reason why I came out of retirement, right? And so when you look at companies, when you're gauging companies and finding out if a company really is the one for you, and if it's really going to be here tomorrow, right? Regardless of what's happening in the economy, you want to focus on companies that have these three boxes checked, at a minimum. Yeah, you want to deal with companies that are in industries with big target market and low market penetration, guys. We want to make sure that we can see a big vision, but we can't see a lot of participation. Okay. Companies that have essential goods and services like gas, electricity, water, these are essential goods, guys. These are things that you cannot do without. These are things that you would pay for even if you lost your job, right? Even if your business shut down, right? You would still pay for these things because at that point in time, as you be in a position where you're suffering. Because I know when we went through bankruptcy, foreclosure, repossession, and my wife was 6 months pregnant, guys, when we couldn't pay the mortgage, okay, and we couldn't pay the car note, we took what we had. We bought food. Okay, we kept the water on, we kept the lights on, we kept the gas on, and we kept it pushing until things turned around for us. Okay, so these companies, you are a part of somebody's residual reoccurring income, and they understand that there's a sense of permanency, okay, when it comes to their customer base. You want to make sure you have that same exact feel. When it comes to industries that you will thrive in, guys, in good and bad economies, you're looking at things like cell phones, have habitual type products and services like alcohol, tobacco products, a lot of things like that. And there are more than those, just those things. And I'm speaking on those because I've made a small fortune in when I talk about coffee, hey, I've made millions of dollars in coffee in 32 plus countries. And when COVID hit, coffee was my saving grace. That residual income that came in, again, it came in and it actually grew based on the fact that everybody around the world was struggling. Everybody around the world was suffering. And upon doing so, guys, guess what? Um, People need, at that point in time, they lean heavily on their addictions and their habits. So they drink more of my product and my services. So instead of me losing, my revenue, my income, like most people, my income escalated. So that's the thing. Again, picking these industries are crucial. Okay. Now, when you look at, the services that we provide, guys, these are not just your mom and pop, type services. And when I say you literally can make a major, six or seven figure income with each and every last one of these guys, is because people are already doing it. Okay. When you look at solar, guys, we participate in the residential and commercial solar industry. And, when I say we do that on a big way, guys, we do that in a manner that we have people in this company that make six figures in a month in solar. Okay. And so it's easy to do that when the average commission is ranging from $6,000 to $10,000 a deal. Okay. Now, when you look at, uh, the next thing is security. $500 to $700 action when you are helping someone, on their home, being a service, have that service provider for their home. As we have another one that's popping up, and it'll be a very popular one, and we have a great demand for it already, and I can't wait till we launch it, guys. And it's called Ripple. It's a military grade portable security system, guys, that you can disarm and rearm in a whole entirely different location. So for a person who's married like myself and you value your wife's life, road trip to Miami, or someone, do you get a up front commission, guys? It's going to do the one thing that no other security company's ever done before. It's going to pay you residual income. Okay. And a lot of people are finding out right now who lost their jobs over the last 90 days. They wish that they had residual income paying their bills right now. And they would not be amongst the masses scrambling for jobs that, quite frankly, don't exist right now. Okay. So when you look at the next is water, guys, not just any water. We're talking about, just the alkaline hydration water. Our systems, guys, from Rain H2O, is an amazing system that's created, and developed by the company that brought alkaline water to North America 30 years ago. Okay. And so it's not just any company, it's not just any system. Okay. Our company is far less expensive than those major carriers that have been around out there for a long time. And we have a superior, okay, and I want to make sure you understand what I'm saying. We have a superior system. Okay. So we charge less, but we give more. Okay. And when I say give more, not just on the quality aspect of our machines, we give more based on the fact that we pay more. Okay? We want to make sure that we're not like those other companies that pay you $200 and $300, per sale. We want to make sure that you never leave us. So we pay you $1,000, $100 per deal. Okay. And then lastly, but not least, on this slide here, we have the Smart Money Club, and the CEO, Winston Navarro, again, when he opened his company and he started this with the president, J.C. Rangel, and the Pacheco's guys, he had a singular vision that my finances had to be important. The economy and people's economic IQ had to increase, because we don't want to be just one of those Me Too companies that say, come in here and make a lot of money. And that's where we stop. We put a lot of money in your hands. You don't know what to do with it. You don't know how to sustain it. You don't know how to scale it. You don't know how to diversify with it, create legacies with it. That's where this comes in at. And guys, it's not just here in America. Right now, we're launching our Smart Money program and every other component that comes with it internationally. And I'll let my partner tell you about that in just a moment. Okay. But let's jump into the nitty gritty of all. We want to talk about solar for a minute. And we're not a solar company. And some people have it confused and have it twisted, because when we first opened our doors, that's what we had. That was our flagship service. And, it was basically what they saw initially. Okay? And so now that we've evolved, we have other things, but this is our main thing at the moment. And when you look at the numbers, okay, the numbers don't lie, as men and women may be, but when you look at these numbers, out of the 90 million homes that are eligible for solar, 5 million has gone solar already. These are, the early adapters. These are the wise guys. These are the people who say, you know what? I see how powerful solar is, how important it is, and I want it on my home. I see solar as an asset, not a liability, not a bill, right? And these people are solar. Now the 85 million are coming on board, and it's our job to get those people educated and mounted. Okay. And so California is leading the way. California has done some things that have let us know where the rest of the nation will go, in time. Things like you not being able to build a home in California without it having a solar system attached to it. And guys, that's been a bill or a law since 2020. About 2035, you won't be able to buy a brand new vehicle that functions on gas. So put up the petrol. Okay. And so it's not if things happen, it's when things happen. I happen to live in, one of the best states for solar here in Texas. Big state, a lot of sun. So for me, I'm excited about, what's happening, not just in my state, but under my roof, because I actually have solar that I purchased from this company when I became a part of it. Okay? And so let me tell you why, I actually became a solar customer, right? See, first and foremost, I believe that savings is the new earnings. So anytime you save money, that means that money was supposed to go out to a company as revenue. So when you actually keep that money in your household under your roof, that's income to you. Okay. I learned that from the richest and wealthiest people in the world. I also see that, here on this slide, it says we save people up to 50%, on the energy costs. And what I'm seeing on average is about 30 to 40%. Okay. I see 0% down with various financing options, guys. And you have the ability, like I did, to pick and choose what you qualify for. Okay. And blackout protection, of course, I have a battery. I have a Tesla battery on my system, on my home. So when we have hurricanes, which we keep a hurricane in our back pocket, unfortunately, lights go out. And the last big storm that we had, lights stayed out. And they stayed out for, upwards of 13 to 16 days, depending on what area you were in. We had 3 million homes in the state of Texas, guys, that were without power because, the energy company, decided to prove a point. Okay. And it was about money. People lost lives. 30 plus lives were lost during that blackout. Okay. That'll never happen to my family again. We had to relocate and go into a rental, a short-term rental, for 2 weeks, based on the fact that, we didn't have electricity and I wasn't going to have my family suffer through, what this bidding war was being waged by the electric company, utility company. I wasn't going to have them suffer based on their greed. Okay. But make sure you have blackout protection when you get your solar. Tax credits, guys, receive a credit of up to 30%. And your CPAs will tell you if you qualify and how to qualify. Okay. And there are ways that if you don't take the money, you don't need the money. Guess what? The banks will actually use it, and that'll deeply decrease the amount of monthly bills, your monthly bill. Okay. Immediate increase in home value. As when you look at what most people believe a home to be. They believe it to be an asset. And if it's an asset to you, why not increase the value with one signature, right? One electronic signature saying, "Hey, I want to go solar." Willow says that the value of your house increases 4 to 7% when you go solar. Now you have more people who are going green. You have people who are more, let's say, eco eco aware, right? And even with the real estate agents right now, you have a lot of real estate agents, guys, who are now going green. They're getting green certified. Okay? And that's because people are waking up to solar. Okay? If I had a house side by side, everything equal, the only difference is one house had a solar system on it. And I knew that bill was locked in at $400, never to increase and one day to go away. And the house next door, their bill was already at $700 a month and always going to increase and never to go away. Guys, it's a no-brainer for me. Okay. It's a no-brainer for me. So clean energy, like I said, just talked about where we're at and what we want around us when it comes to the environment. We want to keep it safe and friendly for us and our families and people who are coming here in the future. So in 2022, guys, just numbers, someone went solar every 44 seconds. Okay. In 2023, someone went solar every 38 seconds. And kind of tell you guys,
uh, how people looking to go solar. 497,000 people, searched, solar installation, and a 7 window of time. Guys, that's a 500,000 people in 1 week searched for solar installation. Okay, and one of my business partners sent me that text, and I was just floored. Okay, so what do you see here? Okay, and for me talking about solar, guys, what you'll automatically assume is that I want you to say the obvious, right? Solar, okay, a need for solar. Nobody has solar, and I love my business partners because every time I hear them speak, I get smarter. Hey, one of my business partners, Idris Alaka, said when he saw this, he saw the need for solar, but he also saw the need for clean water in that house. He saw the need for security in that house. He saw the need for people in that house to be educated with our smart money program. Guys, there are a lot of things that we have to offer where we have now put ourselves in a position where we become, a company with an Apple ecosystem. And when you buy the Apple computer, guess what else you're going to buy? The iPhone, the iPad, iTunes, right? iTV, iWatch, iEverything, right? And so you're getting it all because it's a trusted brand. And guys, it's the same thing for us. As people continue to shop with us, guys, they're continuing to get everything, anything and everything we have. See, I have the water system as well. Guess what else I have? As when it comes to the security system, I have the Ripple system. I have one of the first things that have rolled off the market. I am a product of the product. Okay. And so when you look at solar here, when you look at the customers, and we're talking about creating a win-win situation here, one of our Century 21 agents in California, they took a script that we gave them, told them to go back to their past customers and client, okay, and let them know that they now open up a solar division, okay, and we want to take that bill and basically see if you're being overcharged for your utilities. And guys, their bill went from $287 a month on average down to $148 a month, locked in, okay, never to increase and one day to go away. So when it comes to a person who owns a home, when they are properly educated by our experts and our mentors, guys, they realize that they didn't just sit through a solar sales presentation, guys. They realized that, they sat through an IQ test. Okay. And how you pass the test is by putting your signature on that contract. Okay. Now, that's a win for our customer. Guess what? It was a win for our experts and our Century 21 agent as well. Century 21 agent didn't do anything except for get the bill and set the appointment. They made $3,200 for that. For me, I think that's smart money right there. Okay. But the person who did the heavy lifting, the work, that person made 3,200 as well. So it's a win-win situation. Now, we had EXP Realtor. Okay, notice there's a trend, guys. So if you know professionals who do anything in the home essential services arena, if they do anything with the homeowner, you should be contacting them right away. But EXP Realtor, again, took that same script that we gave the Century 21 agent and got another customer. That customer now here who used to pay $410 a month on average, guys, that person is now paying $290 a month after they got solar applied to their roof, right? And so here, the person who did all of the heavy lifting and mentor, they made 4,100 on this deal, and the mentee, the person who was the EXP realtor, they made $4,100 as well. So as you see, there's a common thread here. Everybody wins, right? And so when you bring your customers, to the table, we're going to take good care of your customers because guess what? Uh, you don't if we don't do our job. Okay. So when it comes to again, smart money, and I'm gonna keep on saying smart money because you know when I talk about facts, guys, and I'm looking at these numbers, it's talking about the growth of your bill from today to tomorrow. And so tomorrow being 30 years from now, 10 years from now, remember what it was 10 years ago, a lot cheaper. Okay. And I'm gonna tell you, it's going to skyrocket. It's going to go up faster than ever, and it's going to happen for a couple of different reasons, right? Right now, we're having more storms than ever, guys, which means that there's more damage being done to a 160-year-old dirty grid already. So every time damage is done, guess what has to happen? Repairs has to take place. Guess who pays for those repairs?
not the utility companies, right? The homeowners. Okay. And so if the homeowners are paying for it, that means that the homeowners overall, their bills are going to spike. Okay. So it's going to be an unnatural increase. Okay. Then you're going to have them automatically raising your, finding ways to raise your bill as well. But there's another reason why your bill is going to go up. Is because people like myself, people like Laura Johnson, people who really are like Thomas Watson in Atlanta, all of us have solar. And when we went solar, we've now come off of the grid, which means that the people who are left on the grid, they're now picking up our weight. They're now paying the bill that we used to pay. Okay. And that's key. Again, remember, it's a people lack because of, that people perish based on lack of vision, right? And you have to be able to see what's happening, guys. You have to be able to see your bill going up every time people go solar. Now, the other thing is this, you have some people who are just stubborn and saying, you know what, I'm not going to ever go solar. That's fine. And the utility companies don't care whether you go solar or not. They really don't want you to. But guess what? They do want you to do. They want you to continue to pay for their solar fields. Because, guys, every time you look at your bill, one thing you gloss over, one thing you look over, you don't pay attention to is the little section that says renewable energy funding or clean energy project, things like that. And you look over it because it's only $1. Okay. Let's say it's only $1. Guess what? You don't think about it, you don't care. But the utility company is saying, you know what? We're basically going to take the 6 million people or the 8 million people that we have as customers, increase their bill by $1. And now we have created a revenue stream of $6 million a month to $8 million a month of their money that we're going to take and we're going to build our solar farms with, and we're going to make them pay for it. And then we're going to charge them for fossil fuel rates based on our desire to continue to increase our profit margins. Guys, this is how the rich get richer because, again, you have people who, intentionally pay more based on convenience, right? Intentionally pay more based on the fact that you don't want to educate yourself and you're too stubborn to change in most cases. So they benefit from that profit from that. So, and lastly, if you would never ever rent your home, knowing that your rental amount will go up every 2 years, after the lease expires for 30 years, why would you rent your electricity from a utility company for the next 30, 40, 50 years, knowing that it's going to always increase? Why not own the asset, being a solar system, like you own the asset that it sits on? Okay. So guys, let's make sure we do smart things. Now, when I say, everybody has a mentor, everybody has their coaches, everybody has people that they look up to and take advice from. I have people like Warren Buffett that I really admire based on the decisions that they make. And when I look at him, and I do consider him one of the smartest investors in the world. Look at this quote, right? It says, energy deregulation will be the largest transfer of wealth in history, says Warren Buffett. Okay. But what most people don't know is that Warren Buffett put $10 billion of his own money, right, into, his, okay. And when he did that, guys, he put himself in a position where when the market turned and when everybody started going toward renewable energy, clean energy, solar and things like that, he was going to continue to build on his fortune. Okay. And that's why I would trade places with. And he's definitely somebody that I would. Okay? And so what I want to do right now, I want to introduce you guys to somebody who, again, I would take advice from. Okay? And this individual here is somebody I have a great deal of respect for. Okay? And I want to make sure, I have him on here. And let's see here. Mr. Pacheco, did we put you, or did we get you into that co-host status?
No, you're bringing me up.
Oh,
It'll be JC. Yeah.
okay, got it. All right. So there we go. So again, guys, we're filled, as a company with people who I would love to take advice from. As a matter of fact, when I spoke with this individual, I was retired. Okay. And when he broke down solar, the industry of solar and how much money he helped, his team make, in the solar from the last company he was in before he opened up this one, I was amazed. I was blown away. And I looked at the current project that I was working on. I said, you know what? I'm an individual that prioritizes by income potential. not by my ego or not by my passion. Because the same person that you're looking at on the screen right now, Mr. Warren Buffett, he tells people, and he has a quote, and I live by it. The world doesn't care about your passions. He said, you'll go broke following your passion. You go and you do what people, for a business, you go do what people are willing to pay for, get rich, and then you'll live the rest of your life, enjoying your passion. And so I'm passionate about working with people like JC Rangel, the president of this company, because he is a person who created our partnerships with the companies that he's going to talk about today. And he's also one of the visionaries that brought water and everything else that you'll see to this company. And so what I want to do is I want to yield the floor to one of our industry pioneers, Presidente, I call him El Presidente, Mr. JC Rangel. JC, take it away.
All right, Sam. Thank you very much, brother. Incredible job as usual, and thank you for all you do, my friend. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being on here. My job is to talk about some of the services and about the compensation plan. And today's a very special day because today we call this a Super Saturday, virtual Super Saturday. We do these in person as well. And for those of you guys that are looking at this for the first time, you've got the opportunity to look at a tremendous opportunity. And we're going to show you proof of that because right after my section is done, we're going to actually proceed to do training. But before the training, we're going to do recognition. We're going to show all of the people that are hitting the ranks, all of the people that are making the sales, all of the people that are making money with this opportunity. Because I've been involved in this industry since 2001. And when I say this industry, I'm talking about the direct sales industry. And being involved in the direct sales industry since 2001, I've seen a lot of things. And I've seen a lot of products and services and, the juices and the creams and the, all kinds of stuff. And listen, I think a lot of those products are great. What I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen, is that what you are seeing here today and what you're going to continue to see is that you're going to see some services and an opportunity where people can make a full-time income without ever building a team if they don't have to. So sometimes when people look at opportunities like this, and they think, well, I don't know if I want to talk to my friends and family members or recruit my friends and family members. Here's what I tell people. You don't have to do that. That is completely optional. We've got people that are making 6 figures a year and more without building a team. And we're going to show that to you here. So my job is to get into some of the services and the compensation plan. So let me go ahead and share my screen, pick up where Mr. Bean left off. So energy deregulation will be the largest transfer of wealth in history. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a billionaire saying it. That's not me saying it. That's one of the world's billionaires who, by the way, has been a billionaire for decades, right? Now, when you get started, we have an essential home services agency, also known as a high-ticket brokerage. One of the services, in addition to solar, is home security. I'm sure everybody recognizes ADT. A lot of you guys are customers of ADT. We sell a lot of ADT and Brinks, but with ADT, we're able to cover 94% of America. So the question is, who do you know that can use these services, whether it's solar, maybe not solar, maybe home security, right? Maybe the water filtration. Well, on the home security, the prices range from $49 per month to $63 per month, and the commissions range between $400 and $700 commission for helping somebody secure their family and secure their home, right? With the most recognizable name in America. And again, we could cover 94% of America. Now, in addition to the home security agency and brokers that you also get your Rain H2O agency. That means you are able to offer the people that the highest quality water you could possibly offer. Save them money on top of that. The question comes, who do I know? Who do you know that drinks water, ladies and gentlemen? And the answer, of course, is everybody, right? Well, I'm here to tell you they're not drinking the best quality water. So if they're drinking bottled water, that is one of the worst waters that you could possibly drink. If you don't believe us, ask us for the information and we'll share that information with you. So we are offering the most powerful alkaline hydrogen water. Hydrogen is a very catchy subject these days, right? Joe Rogan, Gary Brecka are talking about hydrogen water and the benefits of it, alkaline water. So the type of water that you put into your body are made about 60 to 65% of our body is water. So it affects every aspect of our life. But we're not only talking about the water that we consume, but even the water that we bathe in. Look at the pipes, that the water that we are washing our vegetables in is going through. The water that we are drinking. People think, oh, I buy bottled water. Well, guess what? Bottled water, you're drinking some of that plastic. Some people don't know it's been through hot, through cold. It's been exposed. And guess what? That plastic actually gets into the water. Okay. And there's a lot of studies that prove this. So our system, ladies and gentlemen, is a reverse osmosis system, which the water is purified to the highest quality. Now, don't get me wrong. A reverse osmosis system on its own is not a great system because it's like chemotherapy for the water. It takes out all the good and all the bad, right? So now after it removes everything, then we have to add what nature intended the water to have, which is the most important minerals to the human body, which is calcium, potassium, and magnesium. Now, this union of minerals makes the water alkaline and hydrogenated water, again, like nature intended. Now, it's also less expensive than what people are paying. Solar and water is one of those things that they're not a sales pitch. It's an IQ test. Solar, you're already paying for electricity. We could lower your electricity bill with a fixed payment. One day it has an end date. You will not pay no more. You have free electricity. You're renting your electricity now. And by going solar, you're owning your electricity like you own your property. You stop renting to own a property. Same concept. When it comes to water, that bill has no end date. And we're giving you better water for about the same or less money. And one day when you pay it off, you don't have to pay for the water. You got the best quality water you could possibly imagine. I'm telling you. So the average family spends between $50 and $100 per month. Well, our Alka 75, which is our flagship product, this is a Rolls Royce of water. Okay. When financed, it is $43 to $59 per month on average. We have another option, a countertop option, phenomenal water as well. Okay. It's not the Rolls Royce. I would say it's a fully loaded Mercedes. It's the way that I would categorize that, right? But the countertop unit, when financed, is between $28 and $49 per month. Then once you pay it off, guess what? All you got to do is change the filter once a year. You're good to go. Okay. And then for California residents, we have the whole home water filtration system that averages between $80 and $130. I've got customers of mine that say, JC, my skin feels smoother. I don't get the rashes anymore. Ladies talk a lot about how their hair feels when they shower in that water. So it's not only the Alka 75, but it's the whole home water filtration. So you get the drinking water, the Rolls Royce of drinking water, in addition to the water that you bathe in as well. So we can help people with this. Ladies and gentlemen, we make between $1,000 and $2,100 for blessing a family with these services. Okay? So there's money to be made. So in recap, the high ticket brokerage includes your solar division. That includes residential and commercial solar and roofing. Notice that we're not talking about, hey, we've got a special juice that helps your hair grow or whatever, antioxidants. Nothing against those products. My point that I'm saying is we've got real services that pay real big money. Okay. We've got ADT and Brinks, and then we have our Rain H2O system as well. So I'm going to break down the money, ladies and gentlemen. There's 7 ways to get paid. I'm not going to break down everything, but I am going to break down some of the basic ways that we get paid. So first and foremost, we get paid 70% commissions on whatever the profits of the job are. So if we're talking about solar, the average profit in solar is $10,000. So that means that 70% of that is our commission. That would be a $7,000 commission. So let's say Barbie introduces a friend of hers. She collects a bill, enters a lead into the system. One of our mentors is going to help her close that sale. She's going to split that $7,000 commission with the mentor, 50-50. So your first 3 sales are 50-50 split sales. This is for water, solar, security. Your first 3 sales are 50-50 split sales. So in that case, she would make $3,500 on each sale. Once she does that, she could choose to go the path of becoming a mentor if she wants. So on her 4th sale and beyond, she now passed the certification. She got 3 mentor sales. Her next sales on her own. And by the way, congratulations to Dr. Arlene. She just closed her very first sale on her own. She's a doctor. She's doing this part-time. She's got somebody helped her close her first 3 sales. She got that knocked out, and I think it was yesterday that she got her first sale on her own. So congratulations, she didn't have to split that sale with anybody. And it's awesome to see people rank advancing. It's awesome to see people learning this beautiful skill, right? So once you complete 5 sales on your own, you take a certification course and you become a mentor. Here's the beautiful thing about being a mentor, ladies and gentlemen, is that you can now help consultants close their first free training sales, okay? And you make 50% of the commission. And anybody can say, hey, I would like for you to help me close my sale. So for example, in this example on the screen, you help 4 consultants close their first. The average split commission is $300. So when you multiply 12 by 3,500, you're at $42,000 in mentor split commissions. I started in this industry, the solar industry, in 2020 during the pandemic. It took me 11 weeks to become a mentor. In 2021, I closed 116 mentor split sales in 2021. I started late March 2020. The following year, in 2021, I closed 116 mentor split sales. So do the math. 116 split sales times 3,500. That was a pretty good year, just off of helping other people close their sales, right? Not including what I did. So I'm just giving you an example. Even if I never build a business, that's a multiple 6-figure income. By the way, I did that from this very home office. And you can learn that as well. We have trainings every single week. We have certification trainings that you could go at your leisure. All of the past trainings are recorded. You could go into the back office and watch those recorded trainings, right? We want to train and duplicate professionals. That's our goal. Now, you have the option to build a team. So if you like the idea of, say, being a broker, and you want to introduce a couple of folks, you certainly can. So when you get started, anybody that you introduce, you earn a 20% override. So let me break this down. Let's say I introduce Juan. Juan closes the sale. $7,000 commission. Let's say he split it with the mentor, $3,500 each. So out of the $10,000 profit, they took $7,000. There's $3,000 left. 20% of the $3,000 equals $600. I make a $600 override because I introduced Juan to the company. Very simple. Okay, thank you. So here's what happens. As my team grows, I could get to manager. That means that my team and I combined, we did a total of 10 solar installations. Okay, 10 solar installations. What does that look like? In a 60-day period. So let's say I got a team of a couple of people, 3, 4, 5, 10 people, whatever the case may be. Combined, we did 10 installations, solar installations in the course of 60 days, 2 months. I now get to manager. I now earn 30% override on people I introduce instead of 20. So that would mean a $900 override instead of $600. And I make a 10% override through unlimited levels on the rest of my team. Once I get to director, I get bumped up 5% and 15% to infinity. Executive director, it goes to 40 and 20. Keep this in mind, as an executive director, we're talking about crazy big numbers, crazy big commissions and overrides. But as an executive director, ladies and gentlemen, you also share in 2% of the company-wide pool. All of the sales, all of the sales in your organization, you get paid either 40 or 20%, but now you share in all of the sales the company does, whether it's a part of your team or not. And national director, the numbers just get even crazier, right? So I'm going to give you guys some examples here. Let's say you hit manager. That's the very first rank, 10 consultants. Okay, let's say you got a team of 10. You didn't bring 10. You brought a couple. Maybe you brought 2 or 3, and they brought 2 or 3. Okay, all 10 did one sale. Let's say 4 of those sales came from level 1, and the other 6 came from anywhere in your team. In that scenario, you made $6,300 in overrides. Broker overrides. Maybe you were on vacation that month and you got back and wow, I got a couple checks totaling $6,300 in my mailbox. And by the way, I'm lying. We don't pay with checks. It's a direct deposit to your bank account. But you guys get the point, right? And that's with you making no sales. Now, what if you did make a sale yourself? Well, add an extra $7,000. That's the average commission on the solar sale. You got $13,300. We're not even talking about home security. We're not talking about water. We're just keeping it simple. We're talking about solar, right? Now, let's say you got to director. The same 10 consultants did 2 sales instead of 1. That would make you a director. $13,800 in broker overrides with a team of 10 people. If you made a sale yourself, you're at over 20,000. So, ladies and gentlemen, how do you get started? There's a couple ways to get started. Consultant, $149 one time, and your $49 membership covers your business center, right? Then you've got the builder position, $199 one time and $99 a month. Over the next 5 minutes, I'm going to break down the $99 difference. Okay, everything you saw up to this, client's credit, you can fix your client's credit, you can fix your family's credit. So not only is it credit education and credit building, but it's a software. Basically, it's your own credit repair business in a nutshell. Because financial mastery, personal financial mastery starts with your personal. Also, tax planning. The IRS a couple of years ago hired over 80,000 new IRS agents. Tax is very, very important. How to be your own bank, how to retire tax-free, how to legally pay less money in taxes. Keyword, legally pay less money in taxes. I never forget, a long time ago, I was working for a door-to-door company, and I think I was driving a Honda Civic. And the owner of the company was driving a 7 Series BMW. And he says to me, you know, JC, I pay less money for my $100,000 car, my 7 Series Beamer, than you do for your Honda Civic. I said, how do you figure? He said, because you put a huge down payment. He says, no, as a matter of fact, I didn't put any down payment. He says, you, in your way that you're set up, you don't have any tax write-offs. I do. This is not my car. This is my company vehicle. And because of that, because of the tax write-offs I get legally as less for my car than you do for yours. I never forgot that. I never forgot that. These are the things that are taught on the business mastery, how to set up your proper entity. It boggles my mind how many people still get paid to their social security number in a proper corporation or LLC, or what depends on the individual and the circumstances. Establishing corporate credit. When you get that corporation started, establish corporate credit. Access to capital, the difference between good and bad credit. We have licensed experts, CPAs, tax attorneys, licensed insurance agents, financial planners that get on every Wednesday and teach us how to build wealth, how money works, how to set ourselves up for success. Like, you haven't made the money, but here's what you should do before you make the money. Once you make the money, here's what you got to do. Here's how you protect the money. Here's how you build wealth. Hence the name Smart Money Club. Ladies and gentlemen, this is such a powerful thing because it's not enough to just learn how to make money. I'm sure I'm not the only one here. Somebody put a number 1 in the chat if you've ever met or if you've ever been this person. You've ever met somebody that made great money, a couple of years later, have nothing to show for that money. It's every Wednesday. Yes, I've been there. I've had years where I made over $1.2 million, $1.3 million. You know, long time ago, the first time I hit my first million, I was 30 years old. By the time I was 30 years old, I asked myself, what in the world did I do with all that money I last couple years? I don't have anything to show for it. You know why? I wasn't taught these things. These things are very, very important. Let's keep going. In addition to that, we have an amazing travel and lifestyle membership. Travel, 5-star travel at 3-star prices. All of your bookings, right? We have a behind the curtain pricing that you get up to 70% discount on travel, but not only travel, but also restaurants. Over 50,000 restaurants, 150,000 retailers, and 850,000 travel providers. Okay. Now, this $99 membership, the last thing I'll mention on this is this. You get a free gift on your 1-year anniversary. So once you pay 12 months, so on month 13, the beginning of month 13, you actually get a free trip. You get a free trip to a 4- or 5-star resort around the world. We're talking about the Philippines, Morocco, Mexico, Paris, Italy, you name it. You pick it. Free. So imagine this. The membership costs you $99 a month. It's about $1,100 and change, almost $1,200 for the year. Okay? But the trip is worth over $2,000. in some cases $4,000 or $5,000. It doesn't make sense. It's like I'm automatically saving money to travel the world with my family at least once a year. Not to mention all the travel I could do, in the meantime. Does that make sense? So it's such a powerful thing. Matter of fact, in the next 2 weeks, we're going to have a new presentation where we're going to show you the destinations. You're not going to believe it. I asked some of my friends, do you have a system or a membership or something, a subscription of some sort that is automatically putting money away for you to travel the world? How many people would like to travel the world more? See, we want to do business. That's why we are in some very cutting edge services. But it's not just enough to do business and make money. Let's enjoy life while we're doing it. So literally what we are creating, ladies and gentlemen, is the ultimate business and lifestyle membership. So the $99 membership, ladies and gentlemen, comes with a residual income as well. So in addition to the passive income, the overrides you just saw, the huge commissions, if you refer 4 people, your membership is free. So if you're on the $99 membership, you refer 4, you pay no more. But here's what happens. As your team grows, so does your residual income. So when you grow a team of 20, 10 members on the left team and 10 members on the right team, not 10 that you brought. You might have brought 1 and 1, and they grew to 10 and 10. You're at $500 per month in residual income, in addition to your overrides and your commissions. This is extra. We're going to recognize right now in the next 5 minutes, we're going to recognize people that hit these ranks. When you get to 25 and 25, you're making $1,000 per month. 55 and 55, you're making $2,000 a month. 115 and 115 making $4,000 a month, and it's all the way up to $250,000 per month. Is that crazy? Right? This is in addition to, and ladies and gentlemen, we're not getting into the entire compensation plan. There's more money in this. You can see the check match bonus over here. We're not even going to cover that today. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm simply saying to you is this. For $199 month 1 and $99 per month thereafter, you get everything that we covered up to this point. The person that invited you today invited you because they saw something in you. They say, hey, look, we tell people, who do you know that's looking for an opportunity? We sell real services that pay real big money, and we pay on time every time. And we are blessing a lot of people. And we know that right now, more than ever before, people are looking for an opportunity. There's people that last night, all of us know people, all of us have contacts in our cell phone that last night went to sleep praying for an opportunity, praying for a way to make more money, praying for a way to get out of debt. We all know people like that. So what we teach our people is this. We say, listen, you contact the people you know and invite them to check out what we're doing. Maybe it's for, maybe it's not, and that's okay. But give them the opportunity. Don't hold this information, because as you guys can see, and when you're involved in the business, you start to see in our group chats, oh, so-and-so just got to sell. So-and-so just got to sell. They got an ADT sell. They got a solar sell. They got a water sell. They're bringing new team members. They just hit the rank. Now they're making a $500 residual income, so on and so forth. The evidence is there. We've got a WhatsApp group with 1,000 people. We've got a Facebook group with 1,000 people, and we're not even a year old officially. So my recommendation, ladies and gentlemen, is get together with the person that invited you and let them know whether you're one of 3 people, A, B, or C. The A person stands for action. Where's the application? I'm ready to go. I want to take action. Let's go. They'll send you a link to you to get started. The second person is a B. The B is a person that says, listen, I am interested, but I've got a couple questions. And if that's you, great. The person that invited you will answer your questions or get you on the phone with somebody, an expert that can answer one of your questions so you can make the best decision for you and your family. And the last person, somebody is a C. A C is somebody that says, hey, listen, maybe the business is not for me, but I want to be a customer. I could use solar. I could use home security. I could use better drinking water, whatever the case may be. Hey, no problem. We've got an opportunity for you as well. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you guys getting on today. Stick around, because right now, in the next minute, I'm going to get into the recognition portion of our Super Saturday. And right after that, we're going to jump right into training. So those of you guys that are new, that are deciding to get started with us, I would highly recommend stick around for at least another 30 minutes, 40 minutes, because Mr. Samuel Bean is going to come on and do a fast start training to get this training started, okay? So we're going to take a break for 1 minute. We'll be right back.
Recording stopped.
Okay, that's what we call a New
Recording in
York
progress.
That's what we committed. So I'm from California, but I like the New York minute more. All right, here we go. So William has a question about the vacation. The airfare on that vacation is not covered. You cover your own airfare. But for example, we've got, again, Italy, Morocco, Philippines. We got 3,000 locations, all 4.5, and 5-star locations. The stay itself is what's covered. So you're looking at between, on the low end, $1,500, on the high end, $4,000. The stay is covered. All you got to do is pay for your airplane ticket and get yourself there. That's all you got to do. There's no timeshare presentation to sit through. None of that. It's, obviously, if we take a vacation, it's going to cost the airfare and the stay. And let me tell you something, the stay is more expensive than the airfare, right? Especially if you book it ahead of time. So yes, it does. We don't cover your airfare, but we do cover your vacation stay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get started with today's recognition. So first of all, welcome everybody to the Super Saturday once again. And very happy to be with you. For those of you guys that are new, it's very important to know we do a virtual Super Saturday every second Saturday of the month like clockwork. You should have every second Saturday of the month blocked off on your calendar. If you want to be successful in any business, you got to burn your ship, so to speak. You got to have a long-term commitment. Whether it's our business or any other business, you've got to have that long-term commitment. It's just how it works, right? That is how you acquire success. That is how you attract success. So this is your business. I'm going to give you guys a couple of tips before I get into it, because a lot of these people have adopted these philosophies. We're going to get into the recognition. A lot of these people have adopted these philosophies, and that's why they're getting recognized. So every Saturday is the same thing: business showcase, followed by recognition, followed by training. So we're going to, it's only 2.5 hours that we're here every once a month on a Super Saturday. But you're going to hear from Mr. Samuel Bean, incredible trainer, and you're going to hear from Mr. Daniel Pacheco, another incredible trainer as well. So who are the people that have success in the direct sales industry, or in network marketing, or in sales in general, or in life in general, are the people that make a commitment. So the people that go and take this business and treat it like, this is my business, I've got a 5-year commitment, tell me what to do, coach, and I'm going to go and do what you tell me to do, and I'm going to be coachable, and I'm going to be consistent, and I know that it's not going to happen overnight, but it'll happen eventually. It won't happen overnight, but it'll happen eventually if I keep doing what I need to be doing, right? That's why it is imperative that we plug into the system. There's a system in place, and that is a reason why a lot of these people are getting recognized today. So I have the distinct pleasure of recognizing these people because they deserve it. They're out there working, they're out there building, and if you don't find yourself on this list, guess what? Find yourself on this list next month, right? We are in April. There's going to be a May Super Saturday. Be on this list on the May Super Saturday. Okay, so let me show you guys. We're going to go and share the screen. All righty. So first of all, we're starting off with all of the people. Imagine all of the benefits that we've talked about. Okay, all of the benefits that we've talked about. There's a lot of benefits, right? You've got your own home security brokerage, solar, water, soon coming internet and mobile service, and other services are coming as well. The travel discounts. Guess what? If you refer 4 people, you pay no more. Here's a list of all of our refer 4, pay no more. Congratulations, right? Because guess what? This is the starting point of success. You get all the benefits. That vacation at the end of the year, let's say you get started month 1, and month 2, you already got your refer 4, pay no more on month 1. So you never paid the membership other than month 1. You paid the $199 month 1. After that, you never paid for it ever again. You still get the vacation at the end of the year. So think about that. Let me ask you this. What about Netflix? Does Netflix allow you a way to refer enough people so Netflix doesn't charge you anymore? No. Amazon Prime doesn't do that either. We do, right? So anyways, congratulations. I'm not going to read off the entire list. This is too big of a list. All of you, by the way, If you are on here, type in the chat, I am on here. If you are on this list and you are on here, I want you to type in the chat, I am on here, right? Because one of my favorite quotes is success leaves clues. Erjan, right? Angel, Johnny, Ian, I love it. I'm on here. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. So let's keep going. Now let's recognize the dual team. This is the residual income. This is beautiful. Look at all of the Builder 500s. Congratulations to Mr. Chris McHenry, Mr. Matthew Acosta, Fabiola Desire, Calvin Hong, Eln An, I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name, Idris Alaka, Brendan Nava, Landon Tater, Don Smith, Don LaPlume, Jennifer White, Amanda Shawwell, Timothy Neal, Kathy Austin, Lashery Obi, Serge Espera. I don't know if it's Esperance. I don't know, but sorry if I mispronounced your name, guys. Laura Johnson and David Leggett. Okay. Hold on 1 second. Okay, David Leggett, and then Ruben Pinola. Those last four just last month hit Builder 500. That means that they are making $500 per month in residual income. That doesn't include their commissions. That doesn't include overrides they make from their sales that their team is doing. That is their residual income based on the subscribers that are a part of their team. Then here we go to the Builder 1000 rank. Builder 1000 rank, we got Mrs. Roxana Castellanos, also known as Roxy. You guys know her as Roxy. Okay, Hans Petit Home, congrats, Hans, Builder 1000. Rod Obi, congratulations. Scott Misaros is a brand new Builder 1000, and Mr. Erjan Dickey is a brand new Builder 1000 as well. Big, everybody show him some love. By the way, if you are on this list and you are on here, put I am on here. Builder, right? Builder, I am on here. Huge shout out to all the Builder 1000s. And then we got the Builder 2000. This is $2,000 a month base. These people are getting, by the way, these numbers are paid. So you're paid, whatever the number is, 500 or 1,000, 2,000, 4,000 is split in 4. So let's say you hit it in March. That means the Builder 2000s in April will get paid $500 per week, every week of April. Okay. So we've got Mrs. Angel Trin. Congratulations, Builder 2000. What a superstar. Jabari Sadler, who is also a director. Congratulations, Builder 2000. And then we've got a brand new Builder director, Mr. Josh Wiles, just hit Builder 2000. And he's making $500 per week. So $2,000 per month. Congratulations. Once again, if you're on here, put build, I am on here. Builder, I am on here. And then finally, we got 2 brand new Builder 4000. That means that they're earning, once again, you guys guessed it, $4,000 per month, $1,000 per week, in addition to all the sales they're making. So you got Mr. Ed Ayala and Mr. Julio Aquino just hit Builder 4000. And here's what's interesting, that Erjan is a part of its team as well, right? So Erjan is, I have no doubt that Erjan's going to hit Builder 2000 this month. Okay, so the more you help other people, the more you get you get blessed yourself as well. So congratulations to all of our Builder ranks. You guys are crushing it. This is a residual income. This is a reoccurring income. Ladies and gentlemen, we have residual bills, right? If you have residual bills, why not have residual income? That is a philosophy of mine. Okay, now team building recognition. This is the ranks on the sales side. Managers in our company, Mr. Chris Henry, Matthew Acosta, Erjan was just there, Matthew was just there, Chris was just there, right? Success leaves clues. The bigger the team you build, the sales go up as well. So you get recognized for the team size, but you also, guess what? You get recognized by the sales that are being done by the team, right? So Mr. Bradley Goodbread, Hans Home, once again, Hans was, on the other side as well. I think Builder 1000, he's a manager here as well. Mr. Anthony Bonilla is a manager. Mr. Louis Rangel, that's my younger brother. He's also a manager. Mr. Ed Ayala is a manager. Julio Aquino is a manager. Federico Villanueva and David Legat is also a manager. Congratulations. And then we've got Jabari Sadler. Builder 2,000, so he's making $2,000 a month residual income, but he's also overriding his team as a director. Not only that, he's closing like 10 to 20 deals a month. All right. So Jabari, I think you're going to be in Las Vegas next week for SolarCon. Lunch is on you, bro. All right. All that money, man, that you know what I mean? Jabari, when he cashes a check, the bank bounces. Right. I don't know about you guys. I used to write those little rubber checks back in the days. Those little rubber checks that bounce. So when you start getting to director and build 1,000 and closing that many deals, that's a good place to be. Now we have a brand new director, Mr. Tony Denner, Anthony Denner, one of our top mentors in the company, one of the most seasoned solar professionals. He saw the opportunity. Says, "Listen, I love selling solar. It's great money, but I got to build a team the way you guys build a team because I love the passive income, the residual income. He says, as much as I love selling solar." And the money it makes me, I'd rather make the money it makes me without having to sell solar if I don't want to. Congratulations, Mr. Tony Denner. He is a brand new director. Ladies and gentlemen, please unmute yourselves right now. Let's unmute yourselves. All of you that could unmute, okay? All of you that could unmute yourselves. And I want us all to give these people a round of applause. So I'm going to give you guys 2-3 more seconds to unmute yourselves because in the count of three, we're going to say congratulations. We're going to give them a round of applause in the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Congratulations, guys.
You made it.
Great job.
Fantastic.
All right. Well, I appreciate that. And look, I learned a long time ago, ladies and gentlemen, that success leaves clues. And one thing that I learned about is to be happy for other people's success. And because I want them to be happy for my success when I get there. And then that is a kind of energy, that is a kind of vibe that I want to give out because I know that success is inevitable. I am happy for another man or another woman's success. And that is also the culture that we build in our company, right? So it's beautiful to recognize these people for their hard work. You get recognized here in front of over 100 people because of the work that you did when nobody was watching. That's how success works. People are not made directors and builders here. You are made a director, a manager, an executive director, a builder, executive 250 when you get there. You are made that rank when nobody's watching, when the phone calls are being made, when you are taking the rejection, when you are getting cancellations, when you are getting the no's. And then enough of those lead to yeses, to sales, to team members, etc. That's when the champions are made. We just come on here. There's an old quote that I love. I'm a big time fight fan. The quote is, champions are not made in the ring. They're just recognized there. The champions, ladies and gentlemen, are made, once again, when they're doing the things that none of us can see. The phone calls and the meetings and the presentations that none of us can see. So one more time, I want to congratulate every single one of you guys for hitting the rank that you hit. I am extremely proud of you. And I am blessed to know you and to be working with you. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, it is my distinct pleasure once again to reintroduce the next speaker, the first trainer for today. So we're going to keep it rolling with this Super Saturday. And ladies and gentlemen, usually Super Saturdays are 4 hours. We're going 2.5 hours. It's not a long time. Get your mental track shoes ready. Have a notepad and a pen. Take copious notes. Turn your camera on. Remove all distraction. This gentleman has made millions and millions of dollars in the direct sales industry. He's built teams of tens of thousands, if not hundreds of, well, I'm sure that over his career, it's hundreds of thousands, okay? And he's one of the people, I've known of him since about 2011 approximately, and he was a stud then. I remember when we got on Zoom, somebody told me, hey, we're going to get on the phone with so-and-so. I was like, that's also from that? Yeah. So I remember 11 or 12 people on the Zoom when we were joining our company. And I said, I know exactly who you are, man. You're a mini celebrity in this industry. And he was very humble about it, right? But I truly meant what I said, because This guy literally is a celebrity in this industry. People know who he is. People know the type of money he's made, but more importantly, how many people he's helped. So yes, he knows how to make money. He knows how to trade. He knows how to build a business. But more importantly, he knows how to help people and teach people how to make money. He's a family man, right? He's got a beautiful family, an awesome wife that supports him, awesome kids. They're just stellar people. So this is one of those kind of people that we are very blessed to be in business with. So that being said, I'd like to do a mic check for our VP of Sales with Build Network, Mr. Samuel Bean. Are you there?
Yes, sir. Estoy aquí, señor presidente. Hey, I appreciate you, bro. Can you hear me?
Yep, I got you, bro.
Man, I tell you, man, awesome training. I mean, again, this the recognition. I'm excited about everybody in the company who got recognized, this month. And like Mr. Rangel said, guys, you gotta, put yourself in the May Madness. You got to make sure that when we have the Super Saturday next month, regardless of who is actually doing the recognition, make sure they're recognizing you. And that's the cool part about the Super Saturdays, guys. We have different leaders every month, giving you a different perspective on what we do, and how we're going to make BYLD the most prolific company in the world. Okay, I said globally in the world. And when I look at, the Ed Ayalas of the world, the Julio Quinos of the world, we're talking about some studs. Those gentlemen are studs. I can just say this month, be prepared to see numbers go through the roof, and numbers that people only imagine about. When you look at the Pachecos, Carla and Daniel Pacheco, um, when I say Daniel's a guy you really and truly want to get to know. He's not just a wealthy person and a wealth of information. This dude is a fun dude to be around, right? He knows how to handle his success, right? And then Carla handles hers with grace, and she knows how to keep Daniel in line. But very wealthy, very amazing, beautiful individuals. And then obviously again you have JC Rangel. He and his wife, again, you talk about a dynamic duo. When you talk about power couple, I'm talking about power from electricity. I'm talking about these guys are runners, gunners. And when I say, if there's anybody who can keep, JC and his red personality in the line, it's his wife, and so and they have they have two amazing sons, and I love following Maximus, on social media, and seeing him rock out in his martial arts, and always ending up at the top of the charts. And again, but again, guys, everything we do parallels, from our lives to our families to our businesses, and we're consistent. And so, JC's winning in life. He's winning as a father, as a husband. He's winning in business. And so you get to, the the Navarros. Again, just the people, again, I just love being around, guys. We have a core group of people who are amazing individuals. And, when I say somebody who I tell them all the time, you probably are too accessible to, the people. I don't know how you get anything done. I don't know how you get any sleep. But he answers every phone call. And there's something, it's something to be said about a person who goes above and beyond the call of duty when it comes to you having an open door policy. At some point in time, you got to shut your door. You know what I mean? So again, if you, Mr. Navarro, if you have to listen to me, shut your door. But Mrs. Navarro, you talk about a woman who, people look at her and they see her, very beautiful woman, very, very quiet, but very, very powerful in her being. She's in the back, keeping this thing together, making sure numbers are right, making sure people getting paid. And again, she is not the person who'll say, you know what, I am the CEO, right? And I am actually a part owner of this company. And so, guys, I want to encourage you, that for each and every last one of you, that understands what I'm saying at this moment. Protect your leaders, especially the ones who are passive, especially the ones who are not boastful, especially the ones who are just out here to serve you. Make sure you understand that they're not just here serving you, they're here serving everybody that's here and everybody that's coming. Okay. And so if we're going to get to the point to where we're one of the most impactful and most admired companies in the world, guys, we have to do it understanding that we have to have structure, we have to have guidelines, and we have to have respect for each other from top to bottom. Yeah. And so with that said, what I want to do is I want to go ahead and dive into this training so I can introduce you to Mr. Pacheco, and we can wrap this day up. But grab these slides here. Okay. And so when it comes to the 6 steps to 6 figures, guys. When you look at the ultimate fast start game plan to build a 6 figure career or brokerage, we talk about it all the time in presentations. This is not your grandmother's and grandfather's network marketing company. Okay, this is a company where a person can come in and build their business in a manner in which fits their personality and character, right? And so when you look at, everything that we're going to talk about here real quick over this short period of time, we're going to talk about the things that you need to get your business off the ground, rock and rolling, sustainable and scalable, right? And that's the goal. Because when you look at direct sales, network marketing, guys, this is the bridge, to you becoming a successful entrepreneur, but also a successful pillar in your community, because we don't just build businesses and build incomes, we build people. Okay. First thing you should always have, guys, the company's gonna always have its vision. It's always gonna have its goal. Okay. But you want to have yours. Okay? And you want to make sure that yours is something that you have ingrained in your brain. And you want to make sure that when you're talking about your goal, to yourself, doing your affirmations, you want to make sure you're talking about the company's goal as well. Because one thing I know about people is this: when you talk about your goal directly to them, they don't care about it. Okay? But when you talk about the significant goal and you have everybody shooting for the big goal, one day you'll hit yours in passing. Okay. And so my personal goal, guys, which is a goal, and I made it so big that people all around the world will be impacted. We're going to help 10,000 families create $5,000 a month in residual recurring income over the next 5 years. Okay. And I did that doing the numbers from the BYLD residual income chart, which means that in order for us to do that, guys, we have to impact 5 million people. We have to have 5 million people coming to the company. Okay. That's important as builders. Okay. But the fast start training is going to be the foundation that everyone will use to make it in their reality, right? We are impacting the economy in many households as we speak, and that's a fact, not fiction. Okay. But one of the things that you want to make sure you have, you want to make sure you have uh, the why, not a why. You want to have the why. Hey, the DY is not the main why. It's this thing that if you were to pass away, you would pass away with resentment and regrets because you didn't get it accomplished. You want to identify and define that non-negotiable why. Okay. And so my definition of purpose on many levels, guys, like my, my definition of purpose for life in general is to impact the lives of 100 million children directly or indirectly by mentoring and coaching the people who they respect. Okay. We look at people like Dale Carnegie, Napoleon Hill, and people who have went on, and but their work is still living. They're still impacting, people while they're resting, and that's the type of significance that I have, because when I leave this place, I want to be remembered through my work and my impact. Okay, that's my definition of purpose. Okay, but my personal goals, these are things that I've set. Okay, that are unique for me, my family, my team members, right? Myself, right? You want to start off short-term and long-term financial and lifestyle goals for yourself, your family, and your team. Okay. And the closer your team members are to you, the more and more you want to have their goals, because that's what you're going to use to make sure you keep them on point, on purpose, and in sync with their mission. Okay. But business goals, I'm going back to personal goals, guys. On the Millionaire Mentorship Call, I'm gonna talk about that a little bit later on. If you missed Mrs. Pacheco's Millionaire Mentorship Call, okay, on Monday night, she was straight visionary. Hey, she talked about dream building. She talked about all the things that you should do, and the things that you shouldn't do alone. Right? A lot of you guys think that dream building is some hokey situation that people do, and it's a waste of time, and it's not. I used to think the same exact way, and it's because I grew up on government housing. I grew up on welfare. I grew up in the welfare system, right? And so I didn't even think that Hawaii was a real place, or when as a kid, because it wasn't anywhere next to my hood. Okay. But when kids would come back to show and tell, and they'd have pictures and videos and stuff like that, I just really thought it was a lie. I thought how Hawaii 5 was the only thing that had Hawaii in it. That's how you were raised, that environment I was raised in, I was groomed in. But when you start to go out there, see it, touch it, and feel, the how you feel different in a new car, how you feel different trying on jewelry, how you feel different, right? Walking on yachts, when you're going to different, videos and looking at videos of destination vacations and things like that, as it starts to change, it starts to wear on you. And when you start to do these things, guys, what ends up happening is your brain will force you to do more, be more productive, so you can do that even more and on a bigger level. Okay, business goals. Again, building your business goals, guys. This you get to the big money by doing the little things. Okay, if you get four, you can get 400. Okay, but right off the bat, you know, getting four and paying no more. That's one of the most important things that you can do for a person because right now everybody is looking for bills that they can get rid of that are not essentials. Okay. And when you start looking at this industry, you want to take that $99 away from a person, right? Help them get there for so they can know more. If you want to impact the economy under that person's roof, right? Help them get there for so they can pay no more right away. Okay. Do it as fast as possible. Help them get three utility bills in 30 days, right? Help them put somebody and teach them the scripts and everything when it comes to learning how to sell solar, right? You want to make sure that you put them in a position where they can start, getting checks of $3,000, $5,000, $10,000, through solar deals. Okay. Help them get three alkaline hydration systems sold. Okay. And again, I say 30 days, but you can do that. You can do that soon. And guess what? You pay faster on alkaline water, right? So help them get that done. Help people get to cleaner drinking water. Like Mr. Miguel says, a lot of us, buy bottled water thinking it's a healthy water. That's healthier than what it is in your sink, but it's still not healthy at all, right? And so if you care about people, you care about society, go out there and make sure they get that done. Builder 500, and guys, this right here, this is where you leaders, okay, this is where you need to start setting the bar. You need to start having conversations with people when they first get in. When you ask them, you want to build it fast, you want to build it slow, and they say, I want to build it fast. Okay, well, great. The faster we get you to build a 500, will set the tone for everybody in your organization. Okay, and so if it takes you let's say it takes you 12 months, everybody who joins your group, after that, when they ask you, how long did it take you to get to build a 500? You say 12 months. They're going to think it's okay for them to wait that long. You're going to be crippling them. So if you're a person, you're not building a 500 right now, qualified, and you are a builder and you plan on creating wealth through building out your brokerage, draw a line in the sand. Okay. And this is how you do this. You say, hey, I am going to start running as of today. I heard the fast start training. Okay. And it inspired me. It lit a fire up under me. And boom, today becomes your day one. And now, let's say if you do it in 3 weeks, right? When a person asks you, hey, how long did it take you to go build a 500? We'll say, once I made the decision to go build a 500, it only took me 3 weeks to do it. Okay? You're not lying to anybody. You're not manipulating anything. You're being honest. Okay. And so, but if you're a person who gets in and a person asks you, so well, I got in like Landon Taylor. Landon did it in 30 days, right? Jenny out of California did it in 30 days. Guess what their team is going to do? They're going to do it in 30 days. Now, they're going to have some people in their group that's going to start doing it in 3 weeks. And now all of a sudden, you're starting to now have the time limit, the amount of time that people do Builder 500 is going to shrink, it's going to shorten, it's going to come closer to their enrollment date, which you want. And at some point in time, you're going to have people getting to Builder 500 in 2 weeks, 1 week, 7 days. And guess what? You're going to have people like Juan Ayala, I'm sorry, Julio Aquino, Ed Ayala, JC Rangel, some of our top leaders, guys, do a launch call for you. And some of you guys, you'll actually get Builder 500 in 1 or 2 launch calls. Okay. But that's going to happen. The faster you get it done, guys, the more you're going to believe and the bigger your team is going to believe. Now, get certified ASAP. You want to complete your Encore Solar and Rain H2O certifications immediately. Okay. The certifications are in your back office. Watch the videos, answer the questions, and notify your senior partner upon completion. Right. Anytime you complete anything in your back office, guys, make sure that somebody knows. And so complete the 30-day Danny Pesci video series. Go out, guys, go back there and kick the tires and learn as much as you can, but get the certifications out of the way right away. Okay. Watch the 7-minute video before you do anything else. JC Rangel, the president of the company, put a 7-minute video together, and it tells you everything that he wants you to do right away out the gate so you can be successful. Okay. So when it comes to the list, this is one of the most important things out there. Yeah, if you would agree that people are short of money or they believe that they're short of money right now in this economy, put a one in the chat. If you believe, I'm talking about the masses, not talking about you and how you think, because I know all y'all are positive, and I know a lot of y'all are bankrolling everything y'all got going on. But put a one in the chat if you believe that the masses believe that there is a money shortage, and they believe it's tough times and they got to be tight, on money. Put a one in the chat for me. Yeah, there we go. So when you look at your list is your capital. Okay. Your list is your resources. Your list is your bank account, right? And so when you look at building a list, hey, when I'm talking about, deciding, one, promoting what you're going to actually promote, like you have people who are straight solar, right? You have people who are straight water, right? And like Kathy out of Houston, she's been in the company long enough to know that solar's not my thing, but I love water. And now she did two water launch calls with the director of operations of Rain, Mrs. Bean. Right? She decided on water. When we launched, the travel, I'm like, hey, y'all know me. I'm Mr. Residual. I'm building a big business, but the thing that I am going to explode, outside of building my brokerage is travel. Right? Figure out what you're going to lay your hat on. I know a lot of people are going to, go with the Zeta box, the internet box. If anybody who's close to, Mr. Navarro, and they're probably professionals in insurance, they're probably going to roll with, you know, with smart money, but figure out exactly what it is that you want to focus on, right? And then you build your list and cover all these categories, regardless of what your focus is. Okay. 50 to 100 career candidates, right? People who just want to sell something. Okay? And so you can do marketing and advertising, everything, to find out who wants to be a salesperson who doesn't want to recruit. 50 to 100 broker candidates, people who understand big money, want to build a sales force, want to build a brokerage, want to get residual incomes. 50 to 100 homeowners. Okay. And guys, if you notice the things that I'm saying, that I'm getting you to be on purpose with the people who you're putting on your list. You're not just throwing people on paper haphazardly. Okay. And then 50 to 100 real estate, professional industry professionals, or 50 to 100 home essential service, professionals. Guys, anything that anybody who does anything in and around it or sells anything to a homeowner, guys, you want them on that list. Okay. And you see some of the examples that I have here for you. Okay. But you want to, and this will tell you where you want to focus at. Okay. Now, how to categorize your list as well. So when you have your list, you want to make sure you have these 6 checks. Okay. Categorize your list. And if they don't get a check, if they qualify, they do. If they don't qualify, they don't. And you're going to start with the people who are 6 checkers first, then 5, then 4. Guys, I'm going to tell you, if you do this thing the right way and you really hit these, hard, what will end up happening is you not ever get to the 3s. Okay. Because the 6s and the 5s are going to keep you so busy that it'll take you a while to get to the 4s. You'll get to the 4s, but you may never ever get to the 3s. You have to force yourself to, because the valuable people will keep you busy. They'll keep you with an abundance of their resources from their list. Okay. But number one, wealthy people. Why wealthy people? They get a check if they're wealthy. They don't if they're not. Wealthy people can afford anything that we sell. Plus, guess what? They are the ones who are more prone to have great credit as well. Okay. Number two, if they have money to start, they have $199 to get started, guys. They get a check. Okay, if they just want to be career people and they're going to sell something, and they're going to be a consultant, they have $149 to get started. Guys, they get a check. Guys, there are some things that have just come down the pipeline that Mr. Rangel is going to talk about, that is international. If they can afford to do that, they get a check. Guys, if they can't afford it, and if they're coming in as an affiliate or something like that, guys, they don't get a check. Okay, they own a home, they get a check. Do you want to know? Because these are the individuals who right now, especially if you're in the sales industry, you can run right to them and kind of pitch them, anything that you sell that you think that they need. Okay. If they have influence, if they move people, right, they get a check. If they're popular, they don't. Because I want to make sure you guys know that there's a difference between influencers and people who are just popular. Popular people make you laugh. They're good to be around. But when you write a post, right, about business, you have crickets. That's when you know for a fact you're just popular. You're fun to be around. Influencers, you see them, say they have 5,000 people who follow them. Well, they put anything about a business opportunity, and next thing you know, you got 700 likes, and you got 50, 60, 70 people saying, send me some information. That's influence. Okay. If they're a go-getter, they're self-starters, people who don't have to be reminded, they don't have to be contacted, they don't have to be called for anything. They're a busy person. It's hard to catch up with them during their days. They get a check. Okay. And they say, if you ever wanted something to get done, give it to a busy person. Right. Okay. If you have an ego, if they have an ego, guys, they don't get a check. Okay. If they are again humble people, they don't have an ego, they get that check. That's a person who's going to be easy to work with, right? If they have an ego, you're gonna have to work around them. You won't be able to work through them. Don't mean you take them off your list, just means that you know who you're dealing with. Okay. You call the ones with the most checks first. Six all the way down to one, okay, and descending order. Book for showcases. Showcases are where you expose the business and services to prospects. The bigger your goals are, the more you will want to book. Okay, book a calling party to master invite and sales. Okay, and so those scripts, guys, again, uh, Mr. Rangel has a lot of different scripts for a lot of different scenarios. Okay, and those scripts are available to you. So watch those, and then also don't just stop at those scripts. Again, always be someone who has an insatiable desire to go find other scripts, especially the ones that fit your personality or the ones who fit the demographic of the people who you're going to be talking to, because you don't want to be talking over people's head or you don't want to be talking under their value, right? You want to make sure that you're talking to them in their spirit in a way that they can receive your message. And so that's going to be a situation where you're going to be communicating with people. It's going to be a little uncomfortable for a minute, but then at some point in time, you will not need a script. You will be the script. Okay? Become a product of your products. Become a walking, living, breathing billboard that shows your prospects and audience that you believe in what you offer and promote. That is right now, and this is probably going to go on for a little while because we have a lot of people who love what we do. If you've bought something from the company, you've subscribed to something from the company, you've used something from the company, as any of the services, whatever it is, go ahead and put, I've used the smart money on credit. I've used, the travel. I bought my water. I bought my solar. I bought my, whatever it is. I want to see the chats light up while I'm talking about this, right? I want you guys to understand that there are people like myself who has a solar. There are people like myself who have the water, have a Ripple, right? Who've used the travel, who's already used a lot of the services and things that we offer. Guys, light the chats up. Okay, I want to make sure we know what you're using and that we know that you are a product of your product. You are a walking, living, breathing billboard. But test drive the rewards benefits, guys, and use the services in the Smart Money Club. You heard Mr. Rangel say, hey, it's not just the service that you use when it comes to the credit. Yeah, it's your business. You have a credit business now that you can allow your family to have access to. Okay. And a lot of us are talking about owning stuff, being millionaires and leaving legacies. You can't don't do that. Try to do that with horrible credit. Don't think that you're going to be able to do that just on your own bank account alone. You need other people's money. Just like Robert Kiyosaki says, I love debt, but the debt he's talking about is good debt, and you can only accrue good debt with good credit. Okay, so make that one of your testimonials. Right. When it comes to number two, the second part of this is upgrading your home with services. As if you are a homeowner, okay, and you're selling solar but don't have it on your house, you might want to reconsider, how you approach people. Okay. Because some people consider that as, not being a person of integrity. It's kind of like me when we went to the automobile lot, to buy when we went, anybody goes to automobile lots. When you get to the higher, quality cars, the next level Benzes, the Maseratis, the Bentleys, all those guys, most of the people who sell those cars don't own them, right? And they know everything about them. They study them, which they should because they are salespeople. But uh, the only experience they can give you is, the experience that they use when they're taking it to lunch. And they don't own that car. So it's different when a person who is selling cars on a Bentley lot actually owns one, right? Because you can give people unique insight that other people can't, right? So purchase a solar, guys. Okay, guess what? When you purchase it, you keep your part of the commission. Purchase the water, guys. When you purchase it, guess what? You get the benefits and live healthier, but you keep your commission. Security the same, internet the same, cell phone services the same, travel the same. Guys, do use the things that you have on your home, guys. You upgrade your house, level up to the builder brokerage, guys. Also, this allows you to maximize those benefits. You have things that the company offers for people who are builders. I uniquely have things that are designed for my group who, when people come in, as a builder, I have, value adds for people who are coming in as a builder that other people in my group don't have access to. And people in the company don't have access to because it's not open for the company. But these leaders have different things that they do to incentivize people, to come in at a level that's already it's extremely low. It's way too low in my personal opinion for what we offer. Okay. And so that's why most of you guys don't take it seriously because you don't have to come out of your pocket, okay, with the amount that you really should be paying for it. But that brokerage, guys, make sure you're upgrading to the builder position. Don't cheat yourself. Treat yourself, and don't cheat your prospects. As when a person's asking you, what do you have? What did you get started at? And you say affiliate or you say consultant, and that person wants to build a legacy. You're robbing that person of what their dream could actually be. Number 5, plug into our proven system. Okay, you scale your income by scaling your mindset and your skill sets, guys. You scale your income by scaling your mindset and by scaling your skill sets. When you look at who I am and who I've become, guys, network marketing was the shortcut. Being on these calls, having access to leaders who spent hundreds of thousands of dollars, on, books, audios, seminars, and have built groups and have dealt with people for ages before I was born, after I was born, after I got, guys, being in on these calls and being in those trainings and having access to the information, it gives you the cheat code. It's an open book test. You just have to be patient enough to go through the process, or should I say, grow through the process. Okay. Zooms and on-demand Facebook events, guys, we have them. Okay? And treat this like a radio, a radio station in your car, right? When you want to listen to it, turn it on. Okay. When you don't and it gets overwhelming, turn it off. Okay. If you feel like you got too many channels, tune into the channel that's going to satisfy, the area of your business you need to focus on. Okay. Zooms on demand, like I said, Solar Mondays, that's going to happen, right? You got people, we got experts that are doing these calls every Monday at 10 o'clock p.m. Central, a.m. Central Standard Time, a.m. Pacific Standard Time, right? You also have door knocking trainings. You have commercial trainings. You have roof trainings. You have presentations that are happening, guys, on Tuesday and Thursday nights, right? General trainings, period. You have Danny Pessy in the back office. You got all these other different trainings in the back office, guys, that you can actually plug into. Okay. So we have the resources. There are companies that are out there, guys, they don't care whether you get trained or not. They just care that you enroll and they get fat pockets. They throw you against the wall to see who sticks, right? They don't take the time, the energy, the effort to put together training systems, that you can actually scale in and out of your neighborhood, in and out of the city, out of the state, and out of the country. Okay. JC Rangel has an 8-point system that he's put together, guys, that will tell on you when you look at it. Okay. 8 point. If you're serious about making money, you'll actually track your activity and you won't do no less than 8 points a day. Okay. And you get points for everything you do. Okay? You get points for personal development. You get points for making phone calls, following up, doing presentations, doing 3 ways, lifelines. You get points for everything. So there's no way that you can't get 8 points for some not part-time money. Okay. For some full-time money, you might want to get to the 16 points a day. And then if you're out there extremely aggressive, like the Angel Trends of the world, who's a builder 2000, you might want to do, somewhere north of 20 points a day. It's not hard. Okay. Focus on your income producing activity at the same time. So you'll see your list and it'll have some things on there when it comes to, personal development and those type of things and coaching sessions that you do with people and trainings that you do, presentations that you do, the income producing activities, 3 ways, the prospecting, the presentations, those things, you want to get as many points in those categories and areas as possible. Like I said, it'll tell you where you need to be at. If you get 24 points a day and it's 24 points of personal development and no points for presenting, prospecting, and stuff like that, guys, you're gonna be one smart person, but that doesn't make you wealthier. Okay, so again, it'll start to show you what areas of your business that you need to focus on. Accumulate no less than 8 points a day, like I said. Now, the lead generation, guys, master the scripts. Okay, social media. Again, you have people who have lead generation activity and trainings that are here. You have different types of resources that are afforded to you. Role playing sessions, purchase, things that you can actually purchase. If you have a bank account, you have a slush fund where you can go out there and get, the extra resources, the AI tools or whatever it is that can help you, create more visibility for you or have people, beating down your door to do business with you. Do it. Make those investments, guys. Don't build a cheap business. Okay. Mentor leads. Okay. If I'm you and my money is light, okay, I'm going to put my blood, sweat, and tears in knocking doors or making phone calls or whatever I got to do to get enough deals on the table so now I can actually have leads come to me. And yet, Jabari, in the month of April, guys, it was a record-setting month, and 28 deals in 1 month that came to him as a mentor, six-figure month, guys. Mentor leads. So if you want the money to come to you, okay, you got to attract it, but you got to go out there and do the work. If money is a problem, make it not a problem. Okay. Affiliate partners. When you look at people who are affiliates, guys, you want to make sure that don't lead with the affiliate. Okay. Because if you do, you're going to have a nonprofit organization. Okay. You'll have people who will say, okay, well, give me that position for free. And, just like Mr. Collins says in the book, Good to Great, the be back bus don't come back. Those people never upgrade. They have no reason to, have no value to. Stop letting people tell you, well, I'm gonna work my business as an affiliate until I get my commission. And when I get my commission, I'm gonna upgrade. Lies. Okay, lies. Okay, just telling you, it's not going to happen. What they're telling you is, I don't have the heart to break your heart. What they're telling you is, I'm not joining you. I don't believe in you. What they're telling you is, I don't see your commitment in your company. I don't see your commitment in your skill set. I don't see you pouring yourself into this business and me being someone I want to you being somebody I want to tie myself and my brand and my name to. That's what they're telling you. Okay. Go out there and build a business, not a nonprofit organization. But make sure if a person gets in at the affiliate, make sure that they have conditions. A person don't know about the affiliates that I have now, guys. There are affiliates that they're working, they're grinding, they fell on hard times, and I'm getting them to agree, okay, that if they do certain activity, that I will then and only then give them an opportunity to gain entry to my company, right? And then I'll work with them if they put me in front of everybody who they can on a Zoom, on a launch call or something like that, and will give me a chance and some resources to make some money. Let me know that you're serious. Don't let me know that you're trying to blow me off. Okay. Leadership development, the Millionaire Mentorship Call, guys. Every Monday night, we have someone on that call that's made millions of dollars, that's giving you words of wisdom, things that you are going to need on your journey. As when you look at, what people charge, okay, if Winston Navarro was to charge you for his time per hour, could you afford it? Hey, if the Pachecos were to charge you for their time per hour based on what they earn and what they're worth, would you be able to afford it? If any of these leaders who've made millions of dollars divide up what they earn, right, on an annual basis by 40, by 12 months, and then by 40-hour work weeks and stuff like that, whatever that number comes out, it's going to be an astronomical number that 99% of people are either would not be able to afford or would not be willing to pay based on how they understand mentorship and leadership. So why would you miss something, okay, that's so valuable that you have access to that can make you millions of dollars? And the answer is because you didn't have to pay for it. Because anything that you don't have to pay for, you take for granted, right? And that's the thing. If we said, you have to actually, pay $100 to have access to the Millionaire Mentorship Call, and you did pay $100 a month, you'd be on every Millionaire Mentorship Call for just $100 a month. Doesn't take much. It just takes something coming out of your pocket. So The difference between you and the person who becomes successful and who's always on the millionaire mentorship call, that individual, okay, is created a narrative in their mind that's going to force them to do what's required to become successful. Okay. And so leadership boot camps, guys, when we do our leadership boot camps, you will have to be at a certain rank, at a certain level. So make sure that when we have them, you're not the person that's scrambling, trying to get there at the last minute. Go ahead and get there now so you qualify out the gate. Okay. And learn learn from Encore and Rain H2O, guys, when it comes to the leaders. Learn, get to these people, get to these leaders and these mentors and ask questions, but make sure you're asking questions because you're bringing business to them. Don't be that person who never ever goes out to prospects, but you always got a question for somebody and you're in their inbox or you're texting them 24 hours a day, asking them for time that you don't deserve. These people have businesses, they have organizations, they have live, they have money that they have to make, they have goals and dreams that they have to accomplish. Okay. And so again, for most people out there, a lot of people out there, when we say be mindful of that and be considerate of that, people are selfish, right? And so I'm just imploring you to know that that's a courtesy. Don't take it for granted. Last but not least, guys, get registered for the next event right now while you can, while it's at a low rate or whatever it is. Go in your back office, you'll find it. But know this, it's going to be an international convention now that we're going international and prices are going to go up per ticket. And early birds always get more than just the worm. They get the best prices. Okay? And so what I want to do is I'm about to take the best seat in the house and I'm about to sit back and I'm about to take some notes because we have a gentleman again that when I say, he's, one of the coolest people I know, but he's also one of the most, impactful people that I know. Danny Pacheco, since the day I met him, he's been somebody that has been like my my twin. Yeah, we got the same barber and everything. We both have beautiful wives that support us, love us, and despite of who we are to them in private. But he's also a person who's led legions of people, built massive teams, made millions of dollars, and he's taken that money and didn't blow it. He's taken that money and parlayed it into other investments, which at some point in time, I'm not going to tell this business, but you guys will hear it, through the hallways or through the, the chat lines. Extremely successful individual, but he's an awesome individual and awesome human being. So what I want to do is I want to step to the side of greatness and for greatness. And I want to introduce to the line none other than partner of BYLD Network, Mr. Daniel Pacheco.
Hey, twin, how you doing, Sam?
Fantastic, man. Ready to go ahead and take some notes from you, man. Take it away.
Thank you so much for the kind words, and my goodness, super excited. But before I get started with today's 4-hour-long training, I do want to bring back our president of our company, Mr. JC Rangel, because, folks, there was a slight little oversight. We want to rectify that oversight right now because the people that we're going to recognize right now are no less important than everybody else that just got recognized. And by the way, congratulations to everybody that hit ranks and got recognized today. But we wanted to make sure that we didn't omit this very, very, very special group of people. So JC, take it away.
Yes. Thank you very much, Mr. Pacheco. And yeah, I texted him. I said, listen, we did not recognize the people that made certain sales, right? So we want to recognize them. So I'm going to take 2 minutes to recognize these people because, as Mr. Pacheco said, everybody is extremely important. And I didn't realize that there was another slide. So recent sales recognition. Look at all of the people in the last 30 days that made at least one sale, by the way. Keep this in mind. These are people that made at least one sale. So some of these people made 10 sales. Some of these people made 5 sales in all categories. So that solar list, it's a long list. I'm not going to get into that list, but look at that solar list. I do, however, yeah, that's a long list, right? So, and again, a lot of those people made multiple sales, right? So congratulations to all of you that made sales. On the ADT side, I'm very excited to see people securing other people's homes and seeing the value that, home security is very dear to me. So congratulations, Matthew Acosta, Garrett Kolb, Steven Sanchez, Victor Flores, Delvon Hardaway, Earl Harvey, Luis Cervantes, Roxana Castellanos, Luis Rangel, Jessica Esquivel, Anthony Denner, Leslie Parker, Erica Villarreal, Jennifer Rangel, Matthew Ripberger, Adrian Basurto, Amelia Hernandez, Pete Ochoa, and Gerard Gwynn. And then we've got on the Rain HCO side, Roberto Godinez, Erica Villarreal, Ignacio Padilla, Elizabeth Guizar, Victor Flores, Gabby Tober, Brenda Nava, Angel Trin, Chris Dominguez, Sabrina Tublin, Franklin Ways, Thomas Watson, Landon Taylor, Ivan Johnson, John Dunham, Thomas Watson, Leroy. Wow, it's a lot of you guys. Leroy Woodward, Jennifer Garcia, Barbara Williams, Carmen Hernandez, Kathy Austin, Carla Pacheco, Kathy Jewell, Erica Neal, Jesus Pimentel, Doc Reed, and Kim Bean. Wow, that's a long list. So as I was going through, I'm like, man, maybe I should have just left it there so everybody could see it. But I want to recognize you guys and so many people on the solar side. It's really impressive. And this is just a testament, ladies and gentlemen, that working works, connecting to trainings works. All of these people made money. Some of these people are on two lists. Some of these people may be on 3 different lists. So I want to congratulate every single one of you for your hard work. Eventually, it's going to be too long of a list. Eventually, we're going to have multiple slides of people because every time the sales are growing on a monthly basis, the people are growing on a monthly basis. So one more time, congratulations, all of you. I'm very proud of all of you. And with that being said, I'm going to send it back to Mr. Pacheco for an incredible training to close us off. So Mr. Pacheco, if you could close it off for us strong, let's do it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. And we're gonna, I'm gonna turn on my camera right now. Hopefully you guys could hear me and see the slides that I'm gonna put up. But in case, I'm using the hotel's internet here, and we're up on the, I don't know, 39th floor or something. Sometimes the internet comes in and out. So I was listening to Mr. Sam Bean and his incredible presentation, his training, Mr. Rangel. I noticed that it was coming in and out for me. So if that happens, somebody send me a quick chat or somebody ring my phone or something, let me know. That way I'll just go ahead and turn off the camera, and hopefully that won't be an issue. That will actually help. But right now, can you guys hear me okay?
Loud and clear.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much. All right, so the first thing, I do want to share a couple of things, and I wanted to bring some value on some of the things that could help either make a sell. And we're going to get into leadership, and we're going to get into those types of conversations here in a second. But I wanted to share this tool with you that some of you may be aware of this tool. Some of you may be, might not be aware of this tool. But I think it's fantastic because as you guys know, I'm a bit of a water connoisseur. All I drink is water and vodka. Those are the only 2 liquids that I consume. And so you'll never know which one I'm drinking because they look exactly the same. But those are the 2 things that I drink. And so I love what we're doing with the Alka 75, the home systems and all of that, the shower heads. That's I mean, that resonates to me. Solar resonates to me. Smart Money Club resonates to me. The training that was done this week for Smart Money with Miss Roxy was, phenomenal. I mean, just all the value that you're getting out of the Smart Money Club and everything that comes with it. But I wanted to share this tool with you that I came across, and maybe some of you know it, maybe some of you don't. But they say in our industry that the more conversations you have, they lead to conversions. So conversations lead to conversions. And I really think that this is a conversation starter. And so, in fact, I've done this already with several people. And, it's just astounding because it opens up the conversation to go further and just talk about what we have from a perspective of how this is affecting them. And so one of the things that, that I want to share with you is that at my church right now, it's not my church, right? I'm an associate pastor there, but my home church where I serve is, we're getting hit with like cancer. Like there's so many different cancer people that are at our church right now. And it's like, man, you hear about it all the time. The number 1 killer right now is heart attacks. The second killer is cancer. And so I started to see if there was a correlation, right? Because some people are living incredibly healthy lifestyles. They're in the gym. They're they eat clean and all these things. But why is this happening? And so I started, trying to take a look at what's in our water, right? And so I went ahead and I actually went to this website, and this is the way, so you don't get lost, because if you go to just ewg.org, it's going to walk you through this whole website, and it's kind of confusing. So this is just direct. It's ewg.org/tapwater/ and that'll take you directly to this particular site. And so what you could do here, just for you to know, this isn't our site. This is a nonprofit organization that just, they go out there and they're kind of the whistleblowers and the watchdog organization that, looks at what's in the water. So if you go and put your zip code, and then you search. Well, wait, actually, what did I do? Did it wrong. Okay, this says how to check your water, take 2. Just hit enter. And hopefully our internet's working here. There we go. Okay, and so I live in the city of Redlands. And so you click on here. And I was a little shocked, I got to tell you, because Redlands, California, it's a small city, 78,000 people. But we have 29 total contaminants in our water. 29 contaminants. Now grant you, before BYLD, like I shared with you before, all I drink is water. So we already had a whole house system in our water, for our house when we remodeled it. So we put that in. So I've never drank, at least they were giving us some protection. Now we're replacing it with a whole house unit from rain. But 29 total contaminants, 14 contaminants that exceed the EWG's health guidelines. Now, keep in mind, this is not going to list all 29, but the ones that are legal or under that threshold doesn't mean it's safe. It just means that they're actually at the level where they're not breaking the law, right? Or they're not exceeding certain health guidelines. But the ones that were detected, look at this, guys. These were the ones that were detected in our water. And all of this, if you look at it and you click on this stuff, I mean, some of these things I can't even pronounce. I can't pronounce them in English. I can't pronounce them in Spanish either. But I do remember watching Aaron Brockovich a long time ago. I'm dating myself. It's an old movie. Julia Roberts won an Oscar for that role. But this chromium hexavalent was this nasty stuff that was in the water that was causing all sorts of cancer and all sorts of different types of people in this community. But all of this stuff is bad for you. In fact, if you click on these, and some of them they'll outright tell you this causes cancer, this causes cancer, all of this stuff is just cancer, cancer, cancer. I mean, you click on this, look at this, there's 362 times. These numbers here represent how many times past the health criteria these things are in your water. This is horrible. And this is the stuff that we are consuming, right? When we're not protecting our water supply. So I wanted to share this with you because it's, like I said before, conversations lead to conversions. And this is a very easy way to check. And you can just say, hey man, I'm just checking my water and this and that. We can check your water real quick and tell you what's in it, right? And it's a very easy way to do this because at that point, if you actually look at this, they're going to tell you what the recommendation is so that you're not drinking this stuff, right? And guess what? It's the stuff that we have. So it's a very easy third-party validation tool that you could use, especially if you're like me, you're interested in the water and you want to build a water business. I mean, this is just a tool that I find that it's very, very useful. So I wanted to share that before we got into our training now. How many of you have actually checked your water like that? Okay, perfect. All right, so you guys are aware of this tool. Who was not aware of this tool? Just put in the, put a 2 in the chat if you were not aware of this tool. All right, well now you do. So okay, so there's lots of people that weren't aware of this. Okay, good. So yeah, check it yourself. I'm sure right now if I ask somebody, hey, can we check, you guys want to check your water and see what you're drinking? How many of you would actually give us your zip code? Now, we're not going to put you on the spot, but this is a phenomenal tool that you could use and you're going to get good results out of it, because I mean the results are actually staggering, folks. So I wanted to make sure that you guys are aware of that before we dive into our training here. So let's go ahead and bring up these slides, and let's see here. All right, can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
All right, so BYLD Network. Leadership training from recruiter to leader, developing influential, duplicatable, and vision-driven network marketing leaders. And so Mr. Sam Bean was touching on a lot of the things that we're going to touch on here. And so I want to start off by saying this, guys. Leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. That's what John Maxwell says. That's how he defines it. And influence, folks, is very simple, is leading people to do what you're leading them to do, right? But it's very close to manipulation, right? And you have to be careful. And that's what this training is about, because it's about your intention. See, when we talk to people, when JC Rangel talks to somebody, when Ian Bean talks to somebody, when Wences Navarro talks to somebody, Julio Aquino, Ed Ayala, Urjan, you know, what all these people have in common, right, is that they are caring about the person first, not about themselves or what their reward is going to be. And that is what an influential leader does, right? They keep the intention and the focus on the person that they're speaking to. Now, everything has to be duplicatable. It has to be relatable. So I was watching a movie, I think it was 2 days ago, and my son, who recently turned 18, he used to be traumatized by this movie, and it's called The Edge. I don't know if you guys have heard about this movie. It's an old movie. I made the mistake of him watching it when he was like, I don't know, 6 years old or 7 years old. And it's about a bear that's chasing Anthony Hopkins and this other guy around the I forgot the other guy's name, but anyway, Alec Baldwin. They're chasing him around and he's killing people and eating people, and that just traumatized my son. But there is a part in that movie that really resonated with me, and it's when, you know, they can't eat, the bear's on them, right, chasing them. They can't even trap food. They can't fish, and he's just like just taking over, right? They're trying to escape, and they can't live. And so they make a decision. They say, hey, I'm going to kill the bear. And then he gets the character of Alec Baldwin to say, I'm going to kill the bear. And he's like, he doesn't want to do it. And he just say it. And he just challenges them to say it and say it and say it. And then he says, what one man can do, another can do. What one man can do, another can do. And so I want you to keep those words in the back of your mind, because yes, it's, you know, sometimes when you hear people that have made a lot of money in the industry, sometimes it could be a little counterproductive, because I get more excited about the new person that made money than an old timer that's making money, because you expect them to, right? But it's so powerful right now, what we just saw today before this training, the recognition of everybody hitting ranks, everybody hitting the manager ranks, the director ranks, everybody that's done a sale. I mean, this isn't just one or two people. It's what one man can do, another can do. And so one thing that Mr. Sam Bean did excellent today was he's casting vision of how these ranks are going to be hit in the future. And if you didn't catch that, guys, that is extremely profound, because he's telling you, look, we're hitting ranks right now. We have people that have done it in 30 days, but there's people that are going to do it in one launch call. That was so profound. If you missed that, guys, you got to watch this whole training again, because that part that Sam talked about is exactly what's going to happen. And at the end of this training, folks, I'm going to show you what the possibilities are. Now, leadership is going to start with you. We have to manage ourselves. We have to lead ourselves, and we have to develop certain things within us, and certain habits and certain practices that we keep before we can do that with other people. So lead yourself before you lead others. And we're going to talk about this: daily habits, discipline, personal development. Now, folks, this is an industry that's going to talk about personal development all the time because actual teaches this, right? The law of the lid. You can only lead up to whatever your capacity is. So if your capacity, is from 0 to 10 and you're at a 5, guess what? You're only going to be able to lead people from 0 to 4. That's it, because your lid is a 5. So you have to constantly keep advancing yourself, learning, growing, and doing in order to be able to lead other people to those ranks. If you're not there, folks, you can't lead people where you haven't gone. And see, if you look at ancient wisdom, right? Ancient Jewish wisdom, there was people that were, dragging themselves 40 years in the desert. Why? Because the leadership was so powerful that it was there. But that leader didn't take them across to the finish line because he had never gone there. Put that in the back of your mind. Leaders can't take you where they haven't been there themselves. And we get that from everything. In business, absolutely, folks. I always say this to, our personal team, my kids. I tell them, look, don't follow advice of the people that haven't done what you're looking to do. And there's going to be so many people that are going to give you advice about this business or any endeavor that you do. But if they don't have the results that you want, don't listen to them. Kindly just nod your head and appreciate that they care about you, because sometimes this is coming from a place of caring. But if it's not going to serve you, folks, we have a saying in Spanish that's "Comete el pescado y escupe los huesos," right? Eat the fish and spit out the bones. And so keep that in mind. You have to have personal development in your life. It has to be a big thing. And then the discipline to do it, right? Because if you have a goal with no discipline, all you have is a dream. If you have a goal without discipline, all you have is a dream. And there are so many unfulfilled dreams out there because there is no discipline and there's no growth. There's no personal development. Okay. Income producing activities versus distractions. Now, folks, I don't know if you could see my, I got a message here that you're not hearing me. Are you guys able to hear me okay? Okay.
Yes, we can.
You can. Okay. All right. Well, all right. So let's talk about what actually produces income. So these are IPAs, folks. IPAs are income producing activities. Number one is going to be prospecting and initiating conversations. Like I said before, conversations lead to conversions. Inviting to a presentation. So your next activity is going to be inviting. Give me 1 second, please, folks. 1 second. Okay, so sorry about that. Okay, so income producing activities, folks. This is a big one. What you spend your time doing is going to determine how you do in this business. So you need to focus on prospecting and initiating those conversations, reaching out, connecting, and starting meaningful conversations, inviting to a presentation, tool, or an event. Now, I forgot who taught this, but it's an old timer. I don't remember exactly. Yeah, I can't even think of who said it, but we adopted it. My wife and I adopted this all the time. And we used to say back in the day, and if you want to write this down, write it down. But well, I'll replace the name of the company because obviously that was a long time ago, about 20 years ago when we started saying this. We used to say, how many times today is a story of BYLD going to be told by you, someone on your team, a tool, or an event? Again, how many times today is the story of BYLD going to be told by you, someone on your team, a tool, or an event? How many times today is the story of BYLD going to be told by you, someone on your team, or tool, or an event? And we used to drill that into our team all the time, folks. How many times today is the story of BYLD going to be told by you, someone on your team, a tool, or an event? Those are income producing activities, folks, right? Now, there's a lot of time stealers out there. There's a lot of distractions. Now, when we first started in this industry, and anybody that knows me, anybody close to me knows, I am a movie buff. In fact, I started talking about a movie today, right? Which was The Edge. Saw that, I've probably seen it a million times. But there's lessons in some of these movies that are so incredible, folks. But They're distractions. When my wife and I started network marketing, I gave up. I gave up watching movies and watching television probably for the better part of a year because it was a distraction. I was spending way too much time. In fact, when I hear Mr. Rangel or Sam talk about, Netflix and how many hours you're spending on Netflix, or does it even